The amount of times that I'm gonna say excited in this video, y'all can feel free to grab a bottle of like vodka or something and take a shot. Of course, only if you're like 21 or over. I do not want anybody breaking any laws. Do not break any laws. Hey friends and book lovers, welcome to another video. Today's video is a spring book haul that I didn't even mean for it to be this big. I was thinking to myself today, oh, I've bought a couple books. I should do like a little mini book haul. And then I was like, yeah, I'll put together some of the books that I've gotten over the last like few weeks too, and we'll just have a mini little book haul because I haven't really gone out and like purposely bought anything for myself in a while, right? Wrong. I was really wrong about that. I have like 20 books that I've apparently acquired since my last haul and I didn't even mean to. How does that even happen? How do you just acquire books like that? Apparently I just buy them in my sleep and I just like go around stores acquiring books. I don't even know what happened. I can't be mad at it because listen, books are beautiful and they're like these wonderful trophies of stories that I've read or I'm about to read and places that my mind can travel, so it's okay. We'll find a place for them, right? So the first one should come as no surprise because I feel like if I hadn't gotten it now, I would have gotten it some point in the future. And that is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I have not read one of his books before. This is a middle grade books and apparently it's like a hug in a book. And it's supposed to be just super comforting and cute and squishy with a really cute little romance and cute little things that happen and like wonderful heartwarming things. And I can't wait to dive into this when I really just need a hug in a book and I'm feeling bad and I need something really amazing. We have the hardback and it's actually like pretty stunning. There's like the back and the front and I really adore this. I did order from Amazon and they just do not know how to put dust jackets on, so I had to like fix that. But it is really cute, and if you haven't read it, I suggest that you check it out because I haven't read it either and I'm recommending a book without reading it yet. But anyways, this is supposed to be really cute and good and I cannot wait to read it. I'm excited to see what I think about it and if I think it is a comfort read. This next book was amazing. It was a thrift find. I went to a thrift store where they have like a little bookish section and I picked up 3 books, and this is one that I almost picked up full price and I am just so surprised that anyone would give it up. There are some little damages to the dust jacket. There's some scratches and things which I wouldn't have liked, but that is okay because I can't believe I found it. And that is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, who did write The Poet X, who I have yet to read, but I have it and I can't wait. It is written in verse and apparently she's a wonderful prolific writer and I can't wait to get into her stories. This book is just genuinely so gorgeous. If we look at the naked hardcover, it is the most beautiful, maybe not most beautiful, but one of the most beautiful naked hardcovers that I have. I mean, it's colorful and it's gorgeous and there's beautiful fruit on it. Like delicious fruit too, not like the crappy kind of fruit, like really good kind of fruit. There's like mangoes, papaya, blood oranges, like flowers. Oh my gosh, they have everything. But I'm really excited for this book. It is a Latinx contemporary and I don't read a lot of contemporaries, but I was really compelled by this story. It is about this woman who got pregnant when she was really young and is really into cooking and about her adventure in cooking, and that is all I know about it, but I know it's gonna make me hungry. And oh my god, look at that style. Look at those hoops though. Look at that shirt though. Look at that makeup though. Like the freaking cover is incredible and I just want to like do like a makeup imitation of this girl's makeup because she has like the gold and the coral and the beautiful fuchsia lips and those beautiful gold hoops, and oh my gosh, I'm just inspired. She's beautiful and I cannot wait to read this book. It is going to be such a good time. The next one I actually won in a giveaway that Megan's book channel was doing on her Discord, and I won The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. I think she was giving away any book that she really wanted, and I told her that the book that I really wanted the most was Mask of Mirrors because I didn't yet have it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it for myself because I was able to get it in the giveaway. It is the first in I think a trilogy by 2 authors, which is why it's M.A. Carrick. And I have heard really great things about it. I think there's going to be a live show on it in a few days and I cannot wait to read it myself and see what I think. This is one that is very heavy in political intrigue and I think like castle royalty kind of intrigue, which is very much up my alley and very much something that I do enjoy reading about. So I can't wait to get into it. I've just heard nothing but really great things from booktubers that I trust. If y'all have read it, please let me know what you think of it. I am really intrigued to hear more thoughts on it, and I cannot wait to dive into this myself. The next book I got in a Illumicrate box, and I was so surprised that this was like the pick for like April, because this is adult fantasy, and I thought Illumicrate did mostly YA. At least I'm pretty sure this is adult fantasy, but either way, I'm really happy about it. That is the Unbroken by C.L. Clark. This is a new release for the year and one that has gotten rave reviews. It's basically about our main character going and having to stop a rebellion in her homeland, and I think it does have quite a bit of adventure and warfare in it. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that, but that's what I get from the small synopsis and from the tagline that we have. I know that there is also, I think, a sapphic romance in this, and that's really intriguing to me, and I've just heard that it's really, really well done. So I can't wait to read it for myself. Also, it has red sprayed edges and a really compelling cover. I really love the mystery, the intrigue, and the strength of the woman on this cover, so I cannot wait to read it. The naked front of this book is also really friggin' cool. It is black with this beautiful gold foiling, and it says every empire demands revolution, and oh my gosh, isn't that stunning? So I can't wait to get into this book, and I can't wait to figure out what all the hype is about. It also has some rave reviews from other authors and some booktubers that I do really like their taste, so excited for this one. The next one is actually the May official buddy read for the Shelf Space Discord, and of course it was gonna get it either way, but that is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, and I actually have, I think, the hardcover UK version coming in, because this cover is so beautiful and it spans the back, the spine, and the front that I wanted the hardcover version, so that I just have it always. But I'll probably keep the paperback version as well, just because I love the author, I want to support him. I've read one of his books, I can't wait to read the rest of his quartet, and I'm so excited for this new trilogy that's coming out. I'm hoping that it's released quickly because I don't like to wait. I'm not a patient girl, and I really, really love his writing style, so I'm just excited to see how he's evolved as a writer after I read the Faithful and the Fallen series, and then this one, I feel like I'm gonna get a really good handle on John Gwynne and be able to officially call him one of my favorite authors. So I'm very excited. The next one is The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I've actually already read this, but I did just get it recently, so I thought I would include it in this haul. I pre-ordered this because I loved the first two books, and I read this, I did a vlog for it and a mini review at the end of that vlog. I've actually done a lot of content from the From Blood and Ash series, so I will link all of those videos down below, and I'll link my review of the first two books and my vlog of this book up above, so you guys can check it out if you want to see a spoiler-free review of the first two books and kind of where this series is going to go, because there is going to be a spin-off that you need to read in order to read the fourth one in this series, which is coming out next year, and this is the third one, so check that out. I can't say too much since this is a sequel in the series and not the first, and saying anything is just going to spoil you if you haven't read the first two, so that's why I encourage you to check out my other videos for this series. The next book is actually one that I bought myself on, I think, Depop, because I love the Bookish Box cover and I don't have a subscription to the Bookish Box at this point in time, and that is The Unchosen by Catherine Blair. This is, I think, still a fiction. I don't know if it's considered a fantasy, but it's almost like a low fiction. It's, I think, still set in a modern world, but with fantastical elements and fictional elements. So this follows a main character who is not the chosen one, but whose village gets raided, and her sister, who is the chosen one, gets captured. So the main character, Charlotte, takes her place and gets captured instead. So she is the Unchosen, and I think that's where her story begins. I've never read a story that follows like the Unchosen and not the chosen one before, so I was really intrigued. Not to mention, this isn't actually the real cover art. This is the reverse jacket of the actual cover for this, but I reversed it because I love the artist's work so much. I think it's so extensively gorgeous and beautiful, and I love this exclusive edition that the Bookish Box did for this book, so I'm happy that I was able to snag a copy for myself, even though it's just a tiny bit damaged, but still it's super beautiful and I freaking love the art. I'm excited to read this. I haven't heard anybody talk about this yet at all. I've heard folks haul it, I've seen folks talk about the synopsis, but I haven't actually seen anyone read and review this. So if you've read it, please let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. So my next book is one that I got in a Fairy Loot box, I think it is, or maybe it was a Lumicrate box. Nope, it was a Fairy Loot box, and that is This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. I think this is way more sci-fi inspired than it is fantasy, but this was on one of my anticipated lists for this year as a book that I was really intrigued by, and I think it has to do with robots. So I was really interested to see how this would play out, and I ended up getting a copy from Fairy Loot, so that was all great. So it is about this main character, Karis, who works at the scriptorium, but she really wants to find her long lost brother. And so on the way to trying to find him, she wakes up this automaton, which I think is this kind of sci-fi robot warrior thing. And she and the automaton are kind of refugees. They're fleeing from the authorities, and they're trying to find her brother at the same time. I think a deal is struck between the two of them somehow. I think our automaton is somewhat sentient from what I gather, but I'm not 100% sure. And I'm very compelled. I'm not like dying to read it, but I'm really compelled. And since I got a Fairy Loot copy, I thought, well, why not dive into the story, see if I like it, and if not, I can give this away to someone who might enjoy it more. And it is a really beautiful copy. Of course, sprayed edges always capture my heart, so you know I'm gonna love looking at it while I have it if I really do enjoy it. So we'll see how I feel about this one. So this next one is definitely an Instagram made me do it moment, because I saw this on someone's like Instagram picture and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And then I saw what the book was about and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so up my alley in terms of a story to read. And it is a love story between a vampire and a werewolf, and it is a graphic novel. It's called Fangs by Sarah Anderson, and it is gorgeous with these beautiful black sprayed edges. I actually got this at a local bookstore. I think it's called like Copper Dog Books in Beverly, Massachusetts, and I will link them down below because they're awesome. They're local. I think it's female run as well, and another Discord buddy that I met on Discord actually helps run it and helps do like live shows with authors, which I think is really cool. So I will link all of that down below. But yeah, this book is very cool. The art style is very like, it's just very familiar. I don't know what it is, but it's such a familiar art style and I just really love it. It's obviously going to be a quick read, but I am very excited to have this because on Instagram, on Bookstagram at least, it is pretty well liked. I haven't heard a lot about it on BookTube, but hopefully some of y'all have read it and can let me know if y'all loved it or not. All right, this is another book that I thrifted and it is very well known on BookTube, so I'm not gonna get too far into the synopsis. I haven't read anything by this author yet, but I do have the first two books in the Damn series, which I believe that she has written. And this is The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Audier. So this is the other, I think, series or duology that she's written, and this is the first in that duology, I think, or at least I hope, because this is the one I have. But this is the paperback version, and I thrifted this for like $2 or $3, and I was stoked because while the hardcover version is very beautiful, I found that this version was even more stunning than the hardcover, and I was just so happy to find it and to have it. It's got this beautiful foil for the earrings and everything, and not that I know a lot about it, but I have heard that Renee Audier's writing is really lyrical and beautiful, very prose-like. So it's like, if you don't like that kind of writing style, you're probably not gonna like her books, but I have a feeling that I might enjoy that. And I'm excited to see if I will, because so far I've really liked very straightforward utilitarian writing, or just very subtle kind of interwoven, well done story plotline writing. But in terms of prose, I don't know that I've read a lot of prose like fantasy, so we will see if I enjoy her, and I am very intrigued, and hopefully I will, because it's always fun to discover another author that you enjoy. So in this same visit, when I thrifted with The Fire on High and The Wrath and the Dawn, I also found this book, and it's kind of like a vampire love story, so like fantasy romance, but I've literally never heard of it before, so it must be kind of like an older one, and that's called, hold on, it's called Nocturne by Siri James. And the cover, it's kind of a glare, but the cover is really hauntingly beautiful. We have these like snowy woods, this red rose, and the blood here, and it definitely seems like a haunting vampire story. And the tagline even says, a haunting story of forbidden love. And apparently Siri James, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, is a best-selling author. So that gives me a lot of hope this is gonna be a good one. So it seems like our main female character meets this very private man, and there's this tension that builds between them, and that seems to be our story, and I'm very excited. It seems really short. It's obviously a standalone. I feel like it's probably gonna be way more romance than it is gonna be like a plot, and discovering that this person is a vampire is my guess. But still, I mean, who doesn't love a good standalone novel that's like under 300 pages? So we'll see if this is good, but it was kind of one of those cool thrift finds that you're like, oh, I've never seen you before, but you seem hella intriguing. So I am very hopeful for this one. All right, and we're down to our last 2 books, and both of these I am predicting that I will absolutely love, so I was really excited to get them. The first one I actually ended up buying myself because I found a signed version at that local bookstore that I told y'all about, which I will link down below if you live in Mass or if you live in New England and you want to check out a local bookstore that's female run and female owned. You should definitely check them out. And the second one is one that I got in the Fairy Loot box, so that one's also signed and gorgeous. So we'll get to that one in a minute. But the one I'm talking about, the one that's signed that I found at the local bookstore, is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. This has been one that has been raved about in the bookish community as something that a lot of readers of color didn't have when they were younger, and really love that it exists now. And I am really intrigued. I think it's going to be a really good book. I mean, I have heard nothing but amazing things. The author seems really chill and amazing too, so that makes me want to read it even more. I love supporting an awesome author, and I think this is his debut novel actually. So it's really cool to have a signed first edition of a book that an author has recently debuted writing, and I can't wait to get into it and see what all the hype is about, support another author that's supposed to be really great, and hopefully he will keep and continuing on writing. This is a middle grade novel about a beautiful heroine named Amari, and I think is where she starts to discover like her magic, which is amazing. I don't know too much else about it because I kind of want to go into it blind. I feel like middle grade novels are pretty straightforward in their plot and in what they're trying to do, that sometimes reading the synopsis takes away from the story. But when I finally feel like reading some more middle grade, this is one that I'm going to pick up, and I have some kids in mind who I think would really love this, and this would be like one of those things to get as a gift for them. So I'm thinking if I love it, I might do that for them. Very excited to finally read this one and to have it, because how gorgeous is this? I love the UK version of this too. It is really gorgeous, but the US version is equally just as beautiful. So I'm very excited to have this. I'm excited for what it's doing and what it means to a lot of people. The last book on this freaking book haul that was not supposed to be like this huge stack right here is the Fairy Loot version that I just received, and I really freaking love it. And I'm actually really excited that this was a Fairy Loot pick, because I almost bought it for myself thinking that it wouldn't be in a Fairy Loot box, but I have to be really careful what I buy sometimes. And that is The Prison Healer by Lynette Nani. I think this is the first in a trilogy. It's definitely going to be a series, but I think it's going to be a trilogy. I first heard about this on Bookstagram when someone was reading it and saying that Sarah J. Maas had read it and reviewed it, and she actually is on as the reviewer tagline, which is really amazing because I love her books, and I feel like a book that she likes I probably would like, since I really enjoy her writing. I know that Sarah J. Maas did like a live event on this on Bookstagram to discuss it with the author. I didn't get to watch that, and I don't think I will until after I read the book, but I'm really intrigued and excited to have this, because not only is it a book that I have been wanting, but it is a special edition with these amazing sprayed edges. There's the top and the bottom are solid, and then we have these stenciled edges on the side. So I love when Fairy Loot does stenciled edges, and that is a huge part of why I'm still ordering from them, because they make the book just a beautiful, even more beautiful version than the original. So this is about a prison healer who apparently has become like indispensable to the kingdom, and then the queen arrives and she's super sick, with a note saying, don't let her die, we will need her, we're gonna come for her. And the queen ends up being enrolled in this like trial where there has to do like a bunch of different kinds of challenges, and Kiva, our main character and prison healer, ends up taking her place and doing all these crazy things. There's also a romance involved where one of like the prisoners, I think it is, tries to like get with her. When I've heard that it can be a little insta-lovey with the male character falling in love with the lead female really hard, but the lead female takes her time, which I like. I mean, yes, honey, do it. So I am excited to read this. I've of course heard mostly good things about it, a few criticisms here and there, but not enough to deter me from reading it. So I am really looking forward to finally reading this and hoping to turn this into a buddy read, because I think this will be such a fun novel to read with someone else. So if you're interested in buddy reading this with me, please let me know. I would be happy to take you up on it. And so that is it for the book haul, you guys. I did not mean for this to be so large of a book haul. I didn't think that I had amassed that many books, but here we are. Apparently, no matter what you do, you're going to amass a million books every couple months, even if you don't try. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button down below. That really does help me out a lot. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more content from me, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button.